Are you sick of the same old metas that everybody uses? Are you sick of the meta? Then these are some underrated guns that I don't see a lot of people using. So one gun is the FSS Hurricane. But anyways, this is going to be the build for it. First, you're going to want to use the Zemin 35 compensated flash hider for shortened radar pings, vertical recoil, horizontal recoil, and fire and aim stability. Then you're also going to want to use the FSS Cannon Blade 16 for bullet velocity and range and hip fire accuracy. You also want to use the XRK Edge BW4 hand stop, but if you want a little bit more handling, the VR6 hand stop, or if you want some recoil control, the FTAC MSP 98 hand stop, you still have pretty good movement with all of these. You can also use the X-Chain Phantom S, I guess. That one will give you gun kick. Actually, no. I'll use the XRK BW4 hand stop. And then we also are going to be using the SL Razorhawk laser sight for aim down sight speed, tac span spread, sprint to fire speed, and aim down sight speed. And then for the last attachment, you're going to want to use the Jack Cutthroat stock. And then for your other gun, another underrated gun that I don't see a lot of people using is actually the wait, where is it? I was gonna say the Ram 7. Stupid. But as you know, the Ram 7 did get nerfed like a season ago, but it's gonna be almost the same build. So first you're gonna start with that 60 round drum. You're gonna also want to use the Chronodendron long barrel for range and bullet velocity. You're gonna use the VT7 Spirit Fire Suppressor for bullet velocity and range, recoil control, and undetectable by radar. Obviously, you're gonna throw on that Burn Heavy Support Grip for gun kick control, aiming out of display, horizontal recoil, and fire and aim stability. And this is the most important part of it. The old build, you would use the HVS 3.4 for gun kick control and recoil control, but instead, you're going to want to use the high grain rounds for even more bullet velocity and range. So we have 3 attachments that help with it, which is good because the damage got nerfed on it, and so did the bullet velocity. But you can check it out in the firing range. In the firing range, this is, I mean, obviously the iron sights are one of my favorite in the game. It still beams. It still beams. It does have some recoil. I mean, the range on it obviously isn't the greatest. Like, if you're looking at the recoil at long range, it's going to be hard to hit your shots. But right in that mid-range to, like, a little bit, like, right in between the long range and the mid-range and the firing range, that would be the good spot for it. Then we have the FSS Hurricane, which one thing good about this gun is stock is 50 rounds, and it, like, doesn't take away your movement like how a regular magazine would take away your movement, because the FSS Hurricane actually has, like, the pancake type, like, magazine on top of it. But I do actually like the iron sights on this. The damage is pretty good, I would say. Yeah, like that damage, it's pretty good. And you don't really, it's an old weapon. You don't see many people actually use this. But I would say it is, with the MW3 attachments, which most of the attachments that we have on it, most of the attachments that we're using on it, the everything except the stock. I mean, not everything except the barrel is all a Model 3 attachment, like the Zone 35, XOK Edge, SL Razor Hawk. And the movement, accuracy, and everything, the range is not good, but also it's an SMG. Like the if you want to see the firing range, just because of that stock, the strafe is gonna be extremely good. And you know, another underrated gun that I don't see a lot of people use is so we're doing 2 loadouts every day. So another one would be like it'd probably be, to be honest, I don't see a lot of people use this. I don't know why, because it actually is a good gun. It's the DG58 LSW. I mean, I know it was meta last season, but if you put on the right attachments for this, it's not bad at all. But you have to put on the right attachments. So you can either go, there's 2 things that you can do with it. You can either put it on the VT7 Spiritfire suppressor, or if you want more range and not have recoil control with the muzzle, you can put on the Sonic, but I personally go with the VT7 Spiritfire suppressor. Obviously, you go with that. No, you don't go with it. You go with the high grain rounds. You don't need a magazine because the stock is 60. You want the Woody long barrel for bullet velocity, range, recoil control, gun kick control, but it doesn't really matter. We're using it for the bullet velocity range. There's 2 options. The 3 options I would personally use with this gun is the Jack Glassless, the VLK 4x optic that we're actually going to throw on there, or the Corio Eagle Eye 2x5 scope, but I'm going to be using the VLK 4x optic. A lot of people don't actually use this because of the gun, the sniper eaglet, but the aim down sight speed and but I personally like using it. Wait, what? Why did I take that? Okay. I personally like using it because it is a OG sight and I used to love it back in Warzone 1. And then for the last attachment, I mean, if you want a little bit more recoil control, like, well, I'm using the recoil reduction butt stock or butt plate, but it doesn't really take down your movement as much as the Bruen heavy support grip would. That is why I will be using it. But this is it in the fine range. I would say it is pretty good. I mean, obviously I know a lot of people don't like this optic in it. But the range, if you don't like the optic, like this is what it would look like with the Jack Glassless. Let's throw it on real quick. Obviously, it is, if you can hit your shots, which I don't even know what happened to my aim right there. But I know a lot of people actually forgot about it, but I help a lot my build. And then the last build actually for it is the MCW, but it's the conversion kit MCW. First, put on this, this left all. Put on the Jack Raven kit. You want to use the 40 round. Wait, I never really got, like, what's the point? What's the difference between these 2? Oh, it's different ammunition. Look it, a magazine that holds 40 rounds has .300 BLK. 300 BLK ammunition, but this takes 5.56. But anyways, you have to use that one. You use the second line Mammoth heavy barrel, which actually help with your bullet velocity, range, aim, walking steadiness, aim, walking speed, and movement speed. I know a lot of people don't actually like using this barrel and like using the MCW Cyclone long barrel, but in my opinion, this one actually helps with the accuracy, range, damage, mobility, handling. If you look, this one only helps with the recoil control, range, and damage. But I would say, even if you're using like a long range like MCW without the conversion kit, I'd still use the second line Mammoth heavy barrel. And then I put on the Zemin 35 compensated flash hider. And then that's for attachments, so you can go either 3 ways with this. Personally, I'm rocking with an optic. I'm gonna be using the Quarters Classic Reef. I rock with the Quarters Classic Reflex optic. But you can also use you can actually, instead of an optic, you could put on either like the DR6 hand stop or the FTAC MSP98 hand stop. But if you want a little bit more damage, which I don't think it needs to, you can put on the high grain blackout rounds. But personally, I rock with the optic with it. I think in my opinion, it doesn't really need it does have a kick to it, so if you want a little bit more, like, recoil attachments, put on, like, the FTAC MSP98, because it does actually help with the recoil. It's, like, an underrated handshot. I don't see a lot of people that use it. But, yeah, 40 rounds. It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst. But those are my daily forgotten loadouts. I'll see you in the next one, guys.